bin Heike, bin 61 Jahre alt.
I am Heike. I am 61 years old, and I have a strong urge within me since about the beginning of the year to share my experience, although I've never spoken on the internet or in front of a camera or anything. And I'm also very nervous and my heart is pounding in my throat. But I just have the feeling that I have to tell this, maybe also to give other people a little courage who have had similar experiences, that in the deepest darkness there is always more and there is light. In 2016 I was at the lowest point in my life. Then I gave up and lost everything. Employment was gone. Apartment was gone. And my last hope was to do rehab and then be able to function again afterwards. But that didn't work either. I felt so bad that I couldn't make it from the sofa to the toilet. And after the rehab didn't work either, I lay in bed and started praying in the evenings. And I prayed, "Please God, let me die. I do not want to live anymore. Please, please let me die." I did that for months. And then one night something happened. I suddenly saw my body lying in front of me. And I was still there as usual, but I was in a state of absolute neutrality. There was nothing good, there was nothing bad. There was absolute, absolute, absolute silence. No pain anymore. No thought. Nothing. Nothing at all. Just me. I was there. And I looked at my body that was in front of me. And next to the body was a yellow sphere of light, although maybe sphere isn't the right word.
Kugel ist vielleicht nicht das richtige Wort. Also es war wie so ein Ball.
It was like a ball that was yellow like the sun and had orange sparkles on the outer edge, I would say. And that has swirled. This light has swirled.
Dieses Licht hat sich gedreht. Und da kam
And when I felt that light, there was such a warmth and a love that came out. And then I thought to myself, okay, now what? I was in such an expectation of what was going to happen next. Where do I go now? What do I have to do? This light then came towards my body and blew breath into my body. I have seen that. The breath really came out of the light and the breath went into my body. And I've been lying in bed and I felt my body moving back and forth like it's lying on a waterbed. And I don't know if this state lasted 5 minutes or 5 hours. I can't say that anymore, I don't know. Then at some point I came to myself again in my body. And I wanted to go to the toilet, I wanted to get up and go to the toilet, but I couldn't. I could not. I wasn't able to stand up. I lay there for hours and eventually it worked again. And then that experience vanished from my consciousness. I thought I was going insane about what was happening and pushed it away. But after that I noticed pretty quickly that I had started to change. Not just my body, but also my spirit, what was going on in my head. I have changed a lot. I quit smoking overnight after 45 years, although smoking was still such a straw for me if I could smoke a cigarette to hold on to. And I didn't want to stop either, but I couldn't anymore. I just couldn't smoke anymore. I tried the cigarette, but I had to put it away. Then I suddenly started to see everything differently. My whole life, everything. Everything in me has changed. Outside not. I still had the pain and all. That was the same like before, for the moment. But I had the feeling that a purification was taking place inside me. I am cleansed from within, in my head and in my body. And this process is still ongoing. It was as if all the walls I had built around myself and my entire life had collapsed. It all broke down, and at some point I was able to cry for the first time, out of grief. I cried every day for 4 years in a row. I thought this would never end. Those were real tears of sadness. Sadness about my whole life, about my failed marriages, about everything. I was finally able to cry, and I felt my situation was getting better each time. I then walked a lot in nature. I still do that today. And when I'm there, sometimes I feel such an intense peace inside me. When I say this now, I get goosebumps all over my body because I have this peace inside me. And there is that feeling, that everything's fine. Everything is fine the way it is right now. Whenever I felt bad, I went to church and just sat down there. I also started praying. I pray every morning. I say a prayer every morning. So for me, that light was God. Today I am convinced that every human being has this power within them. Others might call it something else. Higher self or divine power. Or the power that created everything. Or whatever. I think we all have that in us. Everyone. That's what keeps us alive. That's how it looks to me today. Because if I hadn't gotten that breath into my body, I wouldn't be there anymore. And the best thing of all is that my fear is gone. My fear of everything. It doesn't matter what comes. I live every day in the moment, just live, not worrying about anything anymore. I try to be loving with other people and give love as best I can. And I'm happy, practically after 6 years of hell that I've experienced internally, since the beginning of the year, as already mentioned, I've had this urge to tell all of this. And I also have this feeling that something wonderful is coming my way. I don't know what, but I have this feeling of such joy inside me, so that my heart overflows so much. I don't even know what to do with my love. And that's so beautiful. This is so beautiful. It's also not important to know what's coming. It does not matter. The main thing is that I keep this feeling. And I'm doing my best every day now. And I know that everything is fine. Everything is good. I want to tell this in order to encourage other people who are at the bottom right now or who have lost everything or whatever. Go inside and don't look outside to see what's going on. Go within and connect with God, or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. Then comes love. Love comes easy. It just comes. I never believed in anything before. No. I never had time for that either. I raised 3 children alone. I messed up 2 marriages. I have never cared about a belief. And spirituality, for example, or something like that, that was pure nonsense for me. I wasn't interested. I dismissed that as silly. But I know today that something is happening to me because I see it and experience it. For example, I can see my aura around my hands. That was right after that out-of-body experience. Then suddenly, looking at my hand, I saw sparks of energy moving around my fingers. When I moved my fingers apart, this energy field also pulled apart. At first I thought I was going crazy. I couldn't believe it. But I noticed that something is happening to me and that I perceive many things very differently than before. My ears are wide open. I can hardly talk to someone on the phone who is doing the dishes or listening to music in the background or something like that. I can't do that anymore. Or I can no longer go to a mall where there are thousands of people. I cannot do that. That doesn't work because my channels are so wide open. And I don't know where this is taking me, but I know it's taking me somewhere. For me it is God. And God is leading me somewhere. I have work to do here. I don't know what. I have no idea. It doesn't matter what either. I see what's coming and do my best every day. I used to think I'd live here for a few years and someday I'd die and then I'd be gone. But since this experience it has been very, very, very clear to me that there is definitely going to be more after death. And during this experience from back then, I had this feeling inside me, and now? As if I was waiting for someone to pick me up or for me to be taken somewhere, or something like that. Therefore, it is very clear to me today that death is only the change from one state to another. Yes, that's what I would call it. From one state to another. And death itself doesn't hurt. I've experienced it. Death itself, the moment you step out of the body, doesn't hurt at all. What actually hurts is before. This is before. All the pain and all, that's before. It has nothing to do with death the way it was sold to us or how I used to learn it. But for me it is very clear, crystal clear, that life goes on after death. That's very clear. I leave my body and then I go to another level or maybe come back again. I don't know it. So this is just a state change for me. A state of consciousness that I then change. That's what I've also learned in recent years, that basically everything is a certain state, a mental state, such as gratitude or love. You can't have it, you can only be it, basically. They are states of being. And I have also made it my goal that I would like to have this state of being, in which I was during this experience, again in this life.
dass ich das hier in diesem Leben noch mal haben möchte. Ich möchte das
I
noch
want to
mal hier
experience that
im
again
Körper
here in the
erleben.
body. And I think
Und das
that's
geht nur,
only
wenn ich
possible through consciousness,
ja,
by
nach meiner
raising
Meinung
my
geht das nur
consciousness, so to speak.
durch Bewusstsein, durch die Dinge bewusst, also mein Bewusstsein anheben, sage ich mal so. Immer mehr in die Liebe kommen,
Being in love more and more.
nichts mehr
Don't judge
beurteilen, nichts
anymore.
mehr
Accept whatever
annehmen,
is
was gerade
there.
da ist.
And that's how love grows in me.
Und dadurch
And I would
wächst die
like to
Liebe
reach
in
this
mir.
state again.
Und diesen Zustand, das möchte ich noch mal erreichen.